what's up?
Hi, Matthew.
How are you? Good to see you.
Great, thanks. How about yourself?
I'm good. You look fabulous.
Thank you.
Match.
And it
match.
wasn't planned.
You want to go to lunch?
Sure, thank
Okay.
you.
Step in. What is your morning routine that really gets you in the mood to just conquer the day?
I believe that I'm in total control of what my day is. So I don't allow what's happening along the way or my experiences to dictate how my day is. I control it and I put into the universe exactly how I want it to be. And I think starting with gratitude is the best way because it can only go up from that point.
I love that answer. What is the one song that you've got on repeat in your car right now that you just can't stop playing wherever you go? It has to be on when you're driving.
Well, wow, it depends on my mood, right? If I want something upbeat and, that's gonna get me going, and by the way, I love to sing, and 3/4 of the songs I still don't know the words, but I blame the artists because they're the ones who don't know the words. It's not me, so
Exactly.
I still sing along. But if I'm looking for an upbeat song, my cousin Charles, he loves this song. I'm too sexy for my what is it? My shorts or my skirt or whatever it is that you're wearing.
Right, said Fred.
Yes, and that beat. It's not so much the words, but that beat. It's not too high pitched to get you overly excited, but it still puts you in a good mood. So I'll look for that song and I'll play it.
Can you sing a little bit for us, or?
I'm too sexy for my shorts, too sexy for my skirt, too sexy. You have to do the dance, Too sexy, yeah. It's the hand, right?
Are we both too sexy for this car right now?
Of course we are.
Damn straight.
I agree.
Do you remember the first car that you ever had?
Yes, of course I do. Well, the first car that I ever had was a company car. It was a Suzuki Swift. It was red, 2 doors. And I remember it distinctly because when I was trying to go up a hill, upper deck specifically in Montego Bay, I'd have to turn off the air condition. So
To get that extra kind of like...
to go over the hill.
What's your best car memory?
Wow. Let's see. My best car memory. It probably shouldn't be my best, but this is the one that stands out to me the most.
Okay.
I was driving in St. Mary. I was driving my current car, and a policeman pulled me over, and he asked me for my papers, and of course my name is on my papers. And he looks at me and he smiles, and we're there talking. I'm asking him how is his day, so he got a little bit relaxed, and then he said to me,
You kind of charmed him a little bit.
I don't know if you call it that. I wasn't trying to get out of a ticket. And in that experience, he said to me, and this was from him a very caring comment. He said, "Wow, you are one of the women who's smart enough to get the man to put your name on the title of the car." So he assumed that I was a well-kept woman and that this man who bought this car for me, I was good enough, or whatever charm, to your point, I applied. He didn't just buy the car and keep it in his name and have me drive it. My name was actually on it, so he saw it as an accomplishment.
Wow.
And he commended me for it, and I played along. I said yes, and thank you. So that stands out. I don't know if it's a best car moment, but
No, that's a good story.
It's a story that I've never forgotten.
If you could make one traffic law or rule, what would that be?
I don't have a lot of patience when it comes to driving. Patient in other areas, and what I think that rule should be, and I can't, if I say something out of place, don't hold me accountable for it, but I do remember in Montego Bay I could turn right if the light was red.
Yes, you could filter
If the light was red. When I came to Kingston, initially I did that quite a bit. and I would get pulled over, and of course my driver's license has Mobe on it, so I would plead to the police that I just don't know any better, but that didn't work for long. But that would be my wish. I think you should trust the judgment of the driver to filter if it's clear to the right. And I think traffic would be easier, and I think our problems would be less. I also think that they should never allow police officers to override stoplights and direct traffic. I've never seen a situation where it made it easier. But if there's one such one, they should make a case study and help to convince me. But for right now, we should rely on the electronic solution.
How would you describe your driving style?
My driving style, and my husband likes to say it's because I'm from Montego Bay, is extremely aggressive. Every time I do something, he says, "That's a Mobe move. Why are you driving like that?"
Hashtag Mobe move.
But, I believe that you can be bullied with other drivers on the road, especially if they have bigger vehicles or if they detect that you're a woman and my vehicle is untinted. So I don't allow that to happen. So I'm extremely aggressive, but while I'm being careful, and I don't have a lot of patience while I'm being careful.
But you're a defensive driver.
I think that's the best term for it, Matthew. Thank you. And I hope he's watching this, so he'll hear that.
He will definitely have to watch
defensive,
it. So
yeah.
Defensive driving. You got to sing, which was fantastic. That Right Said Fred song, that is awesome. If there was one person that you could sit down and have lunch with, past or present, who would that person be?
Very easy. Margaret Thatcher.
Maggie? Nice. Why would you choose her?
Many reasons, right? First, when I look at the situation she was faced with and what she accomplished, despite all the naysayers and all the challenges from others who never thought that one, a woman should be where she got to, or two, that woman in particular shouldn't be where she got to. And the fact that she didn't stop there, but she engaged in such a way that left a mark on the men of this world.
That is true.
Yeah, so very admirable.
Are there any of her traits or things that you've learned from her that you use in your day-to-day running of Sutherland?
Definitely diplomacy. And she was an attractive woman, and she charmed her way a lot of times. My husband likes to say that I'm manipulative. I like to say that I influence outcomes, and she was very good at that. And you wouldn't even realize that she was influencing the outcome, because at the end of it, you thought it was your idea. It was your vision, and she didn't have a problem with you taking credit, because that wasn't the ultimate goal. It was about making it happen. Whether it was your idea or mine, the end result is the outcome that she wanted. And that's something that's so important in general, dealing with especially a lot of professionals, which is what we call our staff at Sutherland. You want them to be a part of the process, and for them to be engaged and believe in it. And you take their ideas sometimes, but you have to make sure they feel like your ideas are theirs, because they buy into it and it makes sense for them.
What makes Sutherland such a success story?
The people and the leadership.
Okay.
We've been blessed with an amazing leadership team. We're like a family there, right? What you find when you invest that much into knowing who your staff and your professionals that work for you are, is their level of commitment is much greater than anything else. The BPO industry is not for everyone. I'll be the first to declare that. There's some folks that have not had good experiences for different reasons, but those that are committed and put in the work and understand that every day is not going to be a perfect day, when you look at those success stories, not just in their professional life, but what they've been able to achieve in their personal lives, it's just so touching. And everybody in the management team and most of the employees there, that's their passion, and that's what keeps them going.
Do you think millennials are branded or misbranded as lazy and always wanting things right now, rather than actually being highly intelligent people who are just a little bit different to the norm?
I think the latter, and I'll tell you why. I think there's a huge misconception, right? When we went to school, and many persons from my generation and older, we were trained to come out and work for people. And we were trained to get into the working world, get qualified in tertiary or formal education, go into the working world afterwards, and work until we're 65 and retire with a decent life.
With the house and the dog and the kids
and the dog and the car, the dream car.
The dream car, okay.
Yes, that a lot of times when we buy at 65, we die at 70 and leave it. But that's how we were cultured, right? This generation is not subscribing to that. They're saying we can create our own path. And you would have already seen some of that, right?
True.
Most of the successful entrepreneurs in the world aren't even college educated. I used to go off the saying that I don't take advice from someone who is not where I want to be. And they're just like that. If you have not experienced what they're aspiring towards, you're not in a position to give them advice. And
True.
I can't disagree with them, because how do you know if it's good if you haven't tasted it, right? So they are a little bit more assertive than we were. They're go-getters. They want things to happen faster. But that's not even a bad thing either, because it drives a certain amount of passion. If I were to look at changing anything in their character, it would be respect for the elders. You know, I realize there's been a deterioration as it pertains to this generation's respect for older folks and folks with a little bit more knowledge. This generation, and by the way, sometimes I think I'm a part of this generation. I call it the lazy generation, right? Why should I drive a stick if there's an automatic? Why should I take out my phone and dial if I can say, Siri, call Matthew, right? So you know what that resulted in? Technology breaking out.
True.
Because they want to automate everything to avoid work. But I think the faster we accept and start moving in that direction, the easier it will be for us to manage this generation.
How do you motivate millennials in your business, and people who aren't millennials in your business?
Take their ideas.
Okay.
Very simple. They are bright, they're smart, and if you get them to be a part of what motivates them, they can't deny it, right? What you have to figure out is what they're passionate about, and you can figure that out through surveys or just interaction,
or
right?
just going up to them and saying,
exactly.
Hey, what do you like?
What
Tell
do you
me
want to
about
do?
You. Yeah.
And then you say, this is what we're trying to accomplish. If you submit an idea that drives to this outcome, you'll win a TV. You'll just give them some technology. You'll win a Alexa. You'll win a phone. You'll win something. You'll be amazed by the ideas that come from them. And here's the beautiful thing. If they come up with the ideas, how they receive it will always be positive. So motivating them, it takes a lot of creativity, but they're the most creative. So get the ideas from them.
Nice. If you could be any animal, what would that animal be?
So I'm torn a bit between a dolphin and an elephant, but I'm going to go with an elephant.
Okay, that sounds good.
So it's a spirit animal that has very positive associations with it. So good fortune, strength, humility, power, and basically it has the ability to destroy, but it chooses not to. And
I love that.
As big as it is, it's still friendly. I'm not gonna say it's because of the elephants why I've been blessed, but you become what you believe, right?
That's true.
And the energy that comes from the animal is the energy that I want to emit from myself.
Can you teach me something that I don't know in the next 5 minutes?
Recently, I was out with my husband's godkids, and Nathan taught me a new move. So I'm gonna try to teach you that. So it's in a circle.
In a circle. That's sweet. Do you know what that move is called?
I have no idea. And
I thought you were going to do the...
No, I've tried
I don't know how
that,
to do
but
that.
I failed.
It looks like you're doing a...
Yeah, but I'm
Guys,
still working on that one.
Me too.
But I can
me too.
teach you when I get it right.
Please do. What is your advice for the next generation?
I think that the biggest message is don't allow you to be branded into a box. Just be you and do what you love. I was saying earlier to one of the videographers that the best thing that he can do as someone in this generation is to figure out a way to have his passion become his paycheck.
Passion to paycheck.
Correct.
What were the things that made you so successful? How do you go from 47 to 5,000 plus?
You know what's funny? It has absolutely nothing to do with me as an individual. It has everything to do with the people of this great nation that we live in. You know, somebody joked around who came from the Philippines. I said, tell me the difference between someone from, you know, that part of the world in this industry and somebody from Jamaica. And they said, if you tell someone there that 2 + 2 is equal to 6, they may be okay with it. You tell a Jamaican 2 + 2 is equal to 6 and say, you're an idiot. We are gonna challenge it. We are extremely creative, and our ability to adapt to different circumstances and find in the moment solutions is the primary reason why we've been able to do so well as a company.
Wow. Thank you so very much for spending time with us today. It was such a pleasure driving with you in the car and sitting down with you and getting to know you a little bit more. Thank you so very much for your time, Odetta.
You're most welcome, Matthew, and it's a pleasure. Thank you too for the opportunity.
And I'm going to get better at dancing, I promise. I'm going to practice.
We have a challenge.
All right,
We'll
next
create
time.
a challenge,
Okay.
yes.